Thanks, Andrea. Ongoing progress in cancer care depends on patients' willingness to test new drugs and treatments for themselves and for future generations. Waco native and breast cancer patient Cindie Young has experienced this firsthand. Joining me now, Cindie, along with Dr. Carlos Encarnacion from Texas Oncology. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Today, Cindie, first of all, it's wonderful to see how well you're doing. Tell us a little bit about your cancer diagnosis.
I was diagnosed last June. I found not even a lump, just a sensation. Went to my GP. They didn't seem to think there was anything there, but because I felt that there was something different, they had me go do a diagnostic mammogram and sonogram, and that's when we found there was actually cancer. So, and then I found Dr. Encarnacion, who's been amazing.
And so this program that you have, tell us about the clinical trial that she's in.
She's participating in a clinical trial called FLEX. That is a trial that will gather data from the genetic standpoint and from the clinical standpoint in order to identify new interactions between genes so that hopefully the development of new therapies can be accelerated and new treatments will be developed quicker than on the usual route.
And this is for patients who are really in the early stages.
Yes, it is for patients who are stage 1 to 3 with cancer of the breast, and the study uses a genomic assay called MammaPrint, which is in the market and is available for different uses, but we use it in this setting.
Tell us about the protocol that you went through. I mean, I know there are lots of different kinds of breast cancers.
Correct.
and lots of treatments.
Correct. Mine's hormone positive, and the MammaPrint that he discussed, that allowed me to choose whether or not I was going to go through chemo or not. Mine came back that chemo would be not beneficial.
Really?
So yes, and so this is why it's so important to participate in these trials. So I ended up having, of course, a lumpectomy, and then I had 7 weeks of radiation, and then I had a radical hysterectomy. That was my choice. I didn't have to. I could have used another drug, but I wanted to make sure that I was giving myself every possible way that it would never come back.
And is it because it was hormonal that you thought maybe, you know, you needed to have...
Yes, I either had to do that or I had to have a shot every month for 5 years. So, yes, and then I also take an endocrine therapy drug as well for 5 years to prevent anything from coming back.
Dr. Encarnacion, your thoughts on this, why these clinical trials are so important?
Well, as you just heard, the idea of clinical trials are multiple. Number one, it allows new drugs to develop. The drugs that she's taken have been developed through clinical trials and women who participated in those studies many decades ago. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but as you just heard, certain trials will allow you to choose whether you need certain therapies or not. So it's tremendously good for a person to know that chemotherapy will not be beneficial because there's less toxicity, a person has less side effects, it's less in terms of cost for the general health care industry. So I think participating in clinical trials is very important. And I have to note that approximately 5%, only 5% of people who are eligible participate in clinical trials. So it's really, really very important. If you ever have cancer, talk with your physician about clinical studies and see what is available for you.
And they would refer them to you at Texas Oncology, or folks can call you, right? If they want more information.
They can call us for more information, or you know, they usually would be referred by the physicians.
Oh, well, thank you both so much. All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Dr. Encarnacion, for your time.